Welcome everyone in our new podcast, Inspire and Build, powered by T4B Community. Here we are having a new guest, Rajat Chhabra. He is a founding partner, Taxcraft Advisors LLP. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Nishikant, first of all, for having me here.
Thanks, sir. Tell us something about yourself, your experience, and your current engagement.
Uh, I have been a commerce student, yeah. So, did my earlier studies at Delhi. After having done BCom honors from Delhi University, I enrolled with ICAI and did my chartered accountancy in the year 2006. Thereafter, it has been a very enriching ride. I started my career with Reliance Industries Limited at Jamnagar, worked there for a couple of years. Post that, I worked with some consulting firms and law firms. In the meantime, I also had the fortune of pursuing my LLB from Pune University. And currently, we work as our own setup in the name and shape of Taxcraft Advisors LLP, where we are helping many corporates, optimize their outcomes from a tax perspective. We help them from an advisory perspective, structuring perspective, and litigation perspective, so that they can weather the storms from a legal and tax standpoint.
Wow, very nice, sir. So, when you have started this?
So, as I did say, today I have completed around 20 years of experience in the field of taxes. So, from an advisory, compliance, and structuring perspective, we have been assisting many corporates. It was, at the fag end of 2019 that, I thought that it is time, after having gained a significant experience in this holistic line, it is time to start something of our own. And I was fortunate enough that a couple of others like-minded professionals joined me to begin with, and that's how at the end of 2019 this journey began.
You have around 5 years of running your own firm, firm experience. What inspired to start this, and are you enjoying, quitting your job and then running this firm actually?
Absolutely. So, of course, the initial point of quitting a well-paid job in a reputed law firm was not easy. There were peer pressures and pressure from the family as well to consider it. But once deep down inside you are very passionate about what you do, and you have a larger vision, and you believe that you are cut out for something bigger. With that in mind, of course, we started this journey, and by God's grace, it has been 5 years plus, as you said. We are a team of more than 40 people today, and we have offices across Mumbai, Pune, Delhi, and Dubai. And with that, we are serving more than 150 clients today. So yes, I can say it has been an enriching journey so far. But I keep on telling my team that our journey has just begun. While we have made a great start, we have a long way to go.
Correct.
And so many things to achieve.
Yes, yes. It's always, in starting any company, it's always a very fresh and always think like a new opportunity every time actually. And we know each other since quite a while. And then I've been seeing you are traveling a lot. You are doing a lot of connections, networking with other person actually. So tell us something about your core product or services, and what are you, for whom it is actually, and what is all about Taxcraft.
When I say that, from a direct tax perspective, where you have corporate tax, transfer pricing, international tax, then you have something known as indirect tax, which comprises of GST, custom, foreign trade policy, state incentives, and so many other nuances. Plus the transaction advisory, the regular routine audits, etc. So all in all, we are a boutique firm in which all of these kind of services are provided, which are in the nature of regulatory services and tax related services. We are also in the litigation space, wherever any litigation is on with the government authorities, vis-a-vis tax demands. So we are helping, businesses navigate those demands and, ensure that their demands are dropped.
Wow. So far you are enjoying your practice firm, and with a lot of exposure with the companies. So who are your typical clients right now actually, and how you are serving them?
If I were to, speak of the sectors, in services, we are working for, say, construction industry. IT sector is something we are providing a lot of services to. There are services in, education, tech sector as well. From a manufacturing sector perspective, be it pharma, be it chemicals, metal players, so these are typically food processing sector is a significant one. Renewable sector is, one where we have a lot of clients where we are serving. So these are typically, the sectors where we are serving clients, both MNCs as well as, big Indian houses.
Wow, very nice, sir. It's vast, and currently you are serving in various domain industries, and a lot of I believe you are working in international with the international companies also. So this all learning, this your supporting to the new clients and helping them is backed by your own experience working with MNCs and Fortune 500 companies. So tell us something about your best practices learning in the Fortune 500 companies while you are working and in some of the global companies. So tell us something over there.
So very categorically, once we work with MNCs and big Indian houses, of course there are n number of best practices that we encounter. If I were to zero down on any three, one I will say is processes. Bigger companies, impactful companies pay a lot of attention on processes. So whether the processes are right, they are documented well, and whatever upgradation needs to be done, it is there in the system. So lesser reliance on human factor, more on the processes is
Correct.
the hallmark of bigger organization. Second, I would say is documentation. Bigger organization, better organization pay a lot of emphasis on documentation as well. Whether these are tax positions or any other thing, your every critical aspect has to be documented well.
Right.
And third, very critical aspect is people training. In this space where whether it is technology, it is tax, it is legal, or the technologies squad the products as well. So all these things are changing at a very rapid pace, and there are updates which are coming regularly. So great companies, amazing companies pay a lot of attention on people training, which also means that upgrading their skill set to cater to the new market demands which are emerging.
Absolutely, sir. Trainings and continuous learning is very important for the any business growth. Actually, So I really admire that, and I really take that for myself also. My next question is, what's your views on working with India and UAE, Dubai? I believe you are working with different nations, different companies also. So in your job per se, and currently with the Taxcraft also. So what is your takeaway from there actually?
So, both the markets are emerging markets. India is doing very well on the global canvas today. The kind of GDP we have and the kind of, market that we are offering to the world, So we are second to none in that aspect. So therefore, many of our, in fact, I would say most of our clients are growing rapidly. Yeah. So therefore, new opportunities are getting created. It's whether it's an M&A or from a business advisory perspective, something new is happening, and therefore we are there. Likewise, from a UAE perspective as well, UAE is a very growing market. It's a good market space to be at in terms of infra, in terms of all other business related facilitation. They are there with competing with the best of the world. So I would think that given the speciality of the client, whether it's a manufacturer or a service provider, if you are a master at your craft, both the markets are fantastic ones, be it India or UAE.
Very nice.
From a business standpoint.
So a lot of new opportunities are going to come for the companies and SMEs, right? Thank you, sir. My next question would be, what's your take on current tax policies, international trade, and export import and government policy for new business opportunities?
So far as current tax policies are concerned, I think our tax policies are fairly settled now. Uh, we had introduction of indirect tax in the name and form of GST 8 years back. So previously we had excise law, service tax law, VAT, CST, local body tax, octroi. There were n number of indirect taxes. So work was on this for donkey's years, but it has now been merged into one tax known as GST, as we all know, and GST has been there for 8 years. While when we started, there were so many improvements to be made, and which in fact are being made even today. Tax laws, just like human beings, are work in progress, and therefore over a period of time there have been significant improvement in how the GST should have looked like. And also from the uh, precincts of Lal Killa today itself, Prime Minister addressed that there is going to be one more change in the tax rates as well, and tax rates shall be optimized, which are likely to benefit both the corporate and the assessees and the taxpayers. So we will see how that pans out. So far as direct tax is concerned, income tax has been there, from donkey's years, and now time and again there have been talks of revamping the indirect tax, the income tax per se. Earlier, a direct tax code was introduced, and a few days back, income tax, revamped income tax bill, has been presented. As I understand, even it has been passed in the Lok Sabha. The idea is that over a period of time, whatever learnings have been there, they are incorporated in the laws itself, and it is, the idea has been to streamline it. So these things are going on, and the tax policy has been fairly settled. While there are some cases where corporates feel that they are hard done by, even if a particular tax position is settled by the apex court, at times the government does not concur with it and certain changes are brought. This is how it has been happening, but those cases are minimal, to say the least. So far as export and import is concerned, and international tax laws are concerned, so those are also fairly settled. From an international tax perspective and international policy perspective, India's positions are fairly settled. What is making uproars is what the US is doing these days. Over a period of time, in last 4 or 5 months, what we are seeing is that US is in the process of, increasing the tariff rates, custom tariff rates for the goods which are coming into the US, and there are some trade agreements also which are, getting signed. So far as India is concerned, it seems that we are likely to be on the receiving end of that, and which could mean that US may be looking at other country partners for importation of those products. We will see how it goes. India will, of course, reciprocate with its response as well suitably, which is for policymakers to decide. But more or less things are settled. So far as export and import is concerned, ours is a very diversified and a detailed code in the form of Customs Act and Foreign Trade Policy. Lot of incentives are given so far as exportation is concerned. Once you're exporting goods, there's something called duty drawback that you get as a benefit. There's something called road tax that you get as a benefit. Once you are importing capital goods,
Okay.
in order to manufacture goods which shall leave the country, that is exported, whether it's a service export or goods export, you can procure the capital goods on a duty-free basis. There's a scheme called EPCG for that. So once you do a deep dive, depending upon your business need, there are a lot of incentives, on the export and import side, which are being offered by Government of India, including some of the custom exemptions as well. So for new business opportunities or MSMEs in particular, I would say that you have to be, well aware of these, laws. Once you are, they will only benefit you. And so far as other two facets are concerned, those are fairly, settled principles is what we believe.
Very nice, sir. All good takeaways. Sorry, but it is for our audience. If you ask me again, do you have understood something? So I'm so sorry. I'm not a tax guy. But it's very important, sir, actually. So jokes apart, very important, conversation happening now, actually. I really appreciate the way you have explained everything, actually. And it's very important to learn all these things quickly and adapt these policies and structures, bylaws, and then they can grow their business. They can understand the schemes and everything for the benefit for the companies, actually. So should these companies or MSMEs or startups, they should fear of all these things and be in a very small kind of opportunities or work, or they should expand their business as quickly as possible and adapt, or being in love with the tax? What do you say?
So, adaptability or agility is a very important aspect of business. Be it any change or
Right.
any tax policy, you have to embrace it and you have to work around it. As an ecosystem, there is sovereign, there are tax laws. If those provisions are there, you have to embrace them and see how you can work around them. Having said that, there's also an instrument of government advocacy. If you're in a unique business where you believe that their tax rates are on the larger side, there are lesser tax benefits coming your way, you can always go and knock the doors of the government of India and tell them about your business model, about the tax nuances and the difficulties you are facing. And more often than not, we have seen that government is there, and offering a helping hand in order
So
to
like
understand your.
chambers, like chambers.
Absolutely, there are association, there are chambers, and there is Ministry of Finance as well, which is of course the part of Government of India's wing. And you can go to them, make them aware of the problems that you are facing, and more often than not, they are there to help you out, understand your problem, and at times providing relaxation for the sector or for specific businesses as well.
Okay, yeah. So it's very important to align with all the organizations and different bodies and then the associations where you can put your challenges or any kind of a request you have, they will resolve it actually, right? So how it works? Like typically it works in the bigger organization where there is a department and there is a the MS ministry actually. So what is your experience in working with government bodies or institutions like I have heard that you have worked with Chamber of Commerce also, and some of the Indian policies making advocacy, you've been there actually. So how it really worked out actually, and what's your experience so far?
So it essentially depends on what are the nuances that you are looking to address. Let us say, you are in the renewable sector and the duty structure on the imported products is not to your advantage. In that case, what can be done is either as a singular organization, you can go to Ministry of Finance, make them apprise of the challenges that you have and seek for help. Or what you can do is as a sector, 3 4 significant players can come together, put together
Correct.
their viewpoint, the issues, the viewpoints, so on and so forth, and how as per them the way forward should be. They can then tie themselves up with a chamber, let us say CII or PhD, for example. We also have something known as FIO and
Correct.
FICI. Yeah, you can go to them, and through them you can reach out to the government of India and try to have those issues sorted. So whether it depends upon what kind of approach you want to take up. But we strongly believe that even if you have knocked the doors of the government through a chamber, you definitely have to be there explaining the issues time and again. You have to meet them, try to persuade them, as to what the challenges are, why these need to be addressed for businesses to endure and do well. So that is a very critical aspect, and this is where we have helped many singular players as well as chambers to reaching out to the right stakeholders, explaining to them the legal provision, the nuances of the business, and how these issues are seen at an international fora, and accordingly requesting government to take up a position or to modulate their position, amend their position. And I'm very proud to say that in many of the cases we have successfully led our clients and chambers to represent them and get the desired results.
Wow, very nice, sir. And I heard like you also, helping the MSMEs for, as you have office in UAE, Dubai, I believe, right, sir?
Yes, please.
And so, how you are supporting this MSME for expanding their business in UAE, Dubai, like that?
So, if we look at MSMEs from India's growth story perspective, they contribute, significantly. Let us look at some of the numbers. So far as exportation is concerned, close to 48% of exportation that happens from India happens through MSMEs. Around 29% of the GDP contribution is by the MSMEs. Yeah. more than 16 CR of employment generation is through MSMEs, as per the latest data. So these are, very compelling numbers. So from that standpoint, so far as MSMEs are concerned, of course, if they are doing well in India, nothing like it. But, the doors of the world is open to them. If the products are good, if their services are, to the best of standard, they can offer that to international buyers as well,
Correct.
So it depends whether, GCC is the right market for you or rest of the world is the right market for you. For many of the, products or services, you may open an office, say in the GCC, and then reach out to the, larger world. It may happen that as well. So we are helping MSMEs to, explore the incentives and other benefits which government of India is offering when they are thinking of exportation. At the same time, so far as MSMEs are concerned, if they are, or larger organizations, if they are looking to open a branch or another entity in GCC, we are helping them with our expertise and our manpower.
Wow, very nice. And you have a good team in house and associates with you where they can freely start the services, and then they will get all kind of supports end to end, right?
Absolutely. So, in the Indian context, any services from a tax and regulatory perspective that you need, we are there. Likewise, in UAE as well, we are present in that, country as well. So, from a tax and regulatory perspective, any assistance you need, we are there. And while even opening your shop there, opening your, plant, opening your, office there, whether you should go for a free zone or you should go, for a mainland license, right from starting there, helping you procure the license and then helping you, with the regulatory and tax compliances, end-to-end assistance we provide to our clients.
Thank you, sir. So much to learn from you. Actually, I'm really getting a lot of new things from you. Actually, even though I'm a commerce background, I'm not part of now commerce. I'm a management guy now, actually. But it's very inspiring, and I believe like this podcast timing will be less to take the more input from you, actually. So, but let us go ahead and let us understand your other part of the life or your journey, actually. Since you involve in a lot of policies, advices, and taxations and finance role, you need to travel a lot, actually, and you yourself worked in 3 4 countries or cities, like that. So in a functional way, how it given you some kind of challenges, or what's your experience out of that, actually, so while working with different places.
So yes, given the nature of our job, we have to travel. Many a times it is the, in-house, in-country travel, and at times we have to travel to other countries as well, including UAE. For you to be able to travel and follow your passion, first of all, you have to have a very strong support system at home.
Correct.
So once that is there, so that's the number one, precondition. Once you're fortunate enough to have a, great life partner who, offers you that kind of flexibility, then of course the nature of job is such that, if say a particular hearing is scheduled in Chennai, or a particular matter is, you are handling at say Nava Sheva in, near to Mumbai. So these are opportunities where you of course have to travel and, bail out your client. Yeah.
Correct.
Likewise, there are international opportunities as well. We did say that, we have our presence in UAE. So there are client mandates, there are, audit regulations which are there for which you have to travel, and there are of course hearings and other client meetings for which you travel. So yes, so once you are passionate about what you do, yeah, so that sort of take cares of all the tiredness which is involved while traveling and running around. But yes, as I did say, the first thing is that you have to have a super support system at home, which many of us are fortunate enough to have.
Great. So how you able to shift your mind also? Go. Next day I have to be there. Next day, So in a business, mindfulness is very important. So how is there any quick tips you have for yourself, or you want to give back to the audience? How you maintain yourself, actually, whether it is food, whether it is climate or environment, or whether it is traveling, or be it with the language actually. So all these things, how you able to cope up?
So far as how we manage ourselves, I believe, given that we are human race, all of us have some spiritual weapon in our life, which we lay back to, and which of course is a support system for all the energy that we drive. I'm sure this holds true for many of us. Yeah. Apart from that, so far as language is concerned, so there are three languages that I speak: English, Hindi, and Punjabi. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I believe even if you are at a place where none of these languages work,
Yeah.
but once you are conversing with people with a heart to heart language, I believe the half the job is already done.
Correct.
Words perhaps are not as much needed. So this is what has been the mantra, for traveling, for running around, and for communicating with different people. So far as weather is concerned and all other challenges are concerned, the Almighty has bestowed us with a lot of energy, to all of the human race. And I believe once we are passionate about our work, all these things are taken care of themselves. So I'm a strong believer in this. And of course, I did say that, once you have a spiritual weapon in your life, that helps you, sail through all these challenges.
That's the really insider story of yours actually, and it's a good journey. And I know, sir, you have been managing. You are a people guy actually. I would say you love talking strangers, and the way you connect is very different actually. And being advocate and the CA background, it's very hard to get that kind of quality actually. So you possess very different quality than the other the professions person, which it's there actually. So good, sir, thanks for this input. Okay, sir, my next question is on again on MSMEs actually. So some MSMEs who wants to take their business across the globe or cross border businesses, so how you would like to suggest them actually? Any advice, any processes they have to follow? So tell us something on that.
I think so far as reaching to international market is concerned, two things have to be taken care of. One is the quality of the product or services that we want to put on the international canvas, number one. And number two is the pricing. So these are two important factors. Once you are very sure of the quality and the pricing that you have, of course you have to work out relevant alliances across the globe, and basis that you have to market your products, and you have to see and study where you get the right market. Once that happens, of course sky is the limit. So far as Indian government is concerned, as I did say earlier as well, there are different incentives, different benefits which they are ready to offer once you step into the shoes of an exporter. So you have to be very cognizant of that, and that in fact helps you regularize your costs as well, optimize your costs as well. Because if a significant chunk is coming from the government of India to you in your exportation, then that adds to your revenue. So a holistic study of this is very, very critical. And of course, for us to reach out to international market, we have to believe that our product, our quality, and our aspirations are bigger. So this of course starts from the belief system, of course with a backup from the quality and other things. And once we have that, this right ecosystem and all these ingredients that I spoke of, then of course you are ready to knock the international markets.
Yeah, means, you are very rightly said actually. They have to unfold themselves and get exposed with this kind of a government schemes or support,
Right.
or kind of a structures, cross border structures. They have to work on this actually, because when we work with MSMEs or startups, they always have some kind of a hand up attitude actually. They don't move forward much, though they have a capacity, they can do that, they have good resource, they have funding, they have a lot of things, but they are hold back kind of a thought process. So it's very important for them to learn from this kind of experiences, and the team which you have, where they can take this help and they can grow their businesses actually. And our purpose of this podcast is same. we encourage and kind of motivate others to follow such kind of a, important systems or kind of a new opportunity they are going to have it actually. So tell us something, some typical case studies if you have. I'm just deep diving the again on the MSME part, because we work with the MSME in a startup much in our periphery. Any case studies you have experience quickly if you remember, because I know it's very impromptu questions. Uh, could you tell in some explanatory way, case study way actually where they were and how they have achieved that actually in a positive manner, say?
So absolutely. So, I remember one case, of course, I will not go into the names,
Yeah, yeah,
where a
that is
particular
important.
organization which had, a turnover of close to 50 to 80 crores in, tech products, and, in 6 to 7 years, their journey has been incredible. They are today, exporting goods worth rupees 3,000 crores,
Wow.
So, as I said, the hallmark of this success has been number one, believing in your strengths, right? Improving the capability of your products or services, and at the same time, whatever is there being offered by the government of India or local state governments in terms of incentives, catching hold of that, not leaving those,
Okay.
aside. So all of these factors are very, very critical. And as, somebody has rightly said, before being an achiever, be a believer. So it is so very important that we strongly believe from the core of our heart that, we can also write such a success story, which is very, very important.
Great, great, great. Yes, sir. And we will sure we'll together, as we have started our relationship also, will advise more such MSMEs who have potential, who have lot of new ideas, but they don't have the right path. So I believe will definitely will help them to achieve that kind of a targets and numbers in place actually. Thanks for your suggestions, sir.
Certainly. Thank you.
So, tell us something about your, other side of Rajat Chhabra. What you do in past time, and what's your hobbies or some fun part of your life actually?
So very simple and sorted. I'm a cricket buff. Whenever any critical match is going on, I love to watch and support my country. Of course, in my free time, I love playing cricket as well. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a movie buff as well. Yeah. So far as action thrillers and patriotic movies are concerned, I love watching them. Yeah, including the series on many of the series on Netflix and Prime Video. Apart from this, I do spend a lot of time with my kids as well, of course.
yeah.
So my wife and I, we have sorted certain subjects. She would be taking care of certain subjects, and I shall also be taking care of some. So in a way, this helps us connect better with them
Correct.
once we spend time with them, and in the process, you are able to teach them, and for them to do better, because you are connected with them in that role, so that feels special.
Correct.
So of course, it's from a learning perspective, you can I believe you can spend a lot of time with them, and this helps you strengthen the bond as well. Apart from this, of course, as I did mention earlier, on our spiritual path, that also keeps us occupied during the weekends a lot, and also on a daily basis. So that is also something which goes with it. And of course, spending time with your friends, etc., etc. It goes without saying that all of us
Integral
love.
part of the journey, right?
Exactly,
So,
exactly. So, they make you feel special, So, even if you're sitting with a friend, not chatting, just looking at something or looking at each other, even at times that is special. So,
no, sir.
that bonding is there with many of the
It's,
friends.
it's
Yeah.
it's really a good stress buster what you are doing actually, and your work is very focused. Your work is very technical in terms of finances, and so these all different things what you are doing. It's help us to energize yourself, give them more boost your energy also. Okay, sir. My last question would be, what are the advice for the commerce students and the would be finance students or new entrepreneurs in this domain they want to pursue? So give us some kind of your advice or tips quickly, sir.
So far as young entrepreneurs are concerned, I talk to many young folks, and many a times I hear they telling me that they want to become rich. So which makes me laugh, and I feel sad also at the same time. There's no mantra to becoming richer at the faster pace. What you have to acquire are skill sets. You have to be great at something, and that greatness, enhancing those skill sets is what makes you richer, in the process. So this is something we have to be mindful of. Be good at your craft, give it the time that it needs. And of course, if you have a good product, you have a good service offering, and you reach to the right people, you of course will make money in the process. And in the process, whatever government benefits are there, which we have been speaking of, you should definitely reap those. So far as commerce students are concerned, my advice is, wherever you go with all your heart. Whether it is CA as a stream that you want to pursue, whether you want to do LLB, whether you want to do company secretary course, CMA, or post your graduation you want to pursue MBA. Whatever you are doing, on the basis of the strengths that you have, the amount of hard work it takes, not the amount of hard work you are willing to give, is very, very critical. Yeah. Once your core values are intact, and once you are really working hard for your aim and ambition, I am very sure that you will do very well in your life. But of course, whatever you choose, you have to give it all you have. After having pursued a case, you can't say that I can only give hard work this much and not what it requires. So that is something you have to be true to. So keeping all these factors in mind, सिंपल मंत्रा इज, आप जो भी कर रहे हैं पूरे मन से कीजिए, पूरी शिद्दत से कीजिए, एंड यू विल सी ऑल द गॉड्स helping you with their blessings. Thank you.
Okay, so we are running short of time, sir. I want to talk more about your more other part of the stories, but given a constant of time, but it's very pleasure to talking to you, and thanks for coming over here actually, and it gives the good kind of perspective. Rajat Chhabra is making a new India economy actually, and be also a part of this big vision of the 1 trillion economy of India, and also helping the MSMEs, helping the startups, or helping the students also, and also helping to your families actually. So best wishes, sirs, once again from T4B Community and Inspire and Build podcast. All the best, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nishikant,
for being over here actually, and it's my honor to interview you actually, and it's my pleasure again.
Thank you so much.
I personally and we personally learn a lot from you actually, so it's a small certificate for honor.
Thank you so much.
And it's giving new India economy, sir.